welcome to the show. This is our first episode of Horror Night. I'm your host, Austin. My co-host is Devin. Welcome to the show, Devin.
Hey guys, glad to be here. Thanks for having me on here, Austin. Glad to co-host it with you.
Very awesome indeed. Let's go right into it. Now, both of us saw Drag Me to Hell. So let's talk about Drag Me to Hell for a couple of minutes. You start off with the topic.
So, I actually saw this movie in theaters when it came out, what was it, like 7 years ago? And I was pretty excited about it because it was a Sam Raimi film, and I'm a pretty big fan of the Evil Dead franchise. So, it was, like I said, I was definitely excited to go and see it, and I wasn't let down. A lot of people really don't like it. I know my wife definitely doesn't like it, but it's a fun movie to say the least. I don't know. How did you feel about it?
It was kind of awesome because, I love supernatural movies. Now, the old woman freaked me out a little bit, but she's awkward. But now I like the guy in the movie, Justin Dom, because he was in the Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, so I know who he is. So I was shocked to see who he was in the movie. And now that female girl, at the end of the movie, I was saying, wait, she survived. And then she's like, every movie I watch, a hot girl dies. I get so mad.
Yeah, the ending too is definitely catches you off guard, which is what's one thing that's really fun about that movie, which is a total Sam Raimi thing. It's like you think it's going to be a happy ending, but then you're totally screwed in the end. But yeah. and they made her look like the CGI when they showed her burning when she was being drugged to hell underneath the train. It was pretty badass looking, but it was also kind of cheesy, but it was fun. The old woman is definitely one of the strongest elements in that movie because it's so disgusting.
Yeah. So moving forward to that topic, what other kind of horror movies do you like? I know my favorite genre of horror movies is supernatural, demon, gothic kind of thing with teenage girls in the movies, slumber parties like that. So, what's your kind?
I'm a stalk and slash type of person. I like the classics, like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and stuff like that. Halloween, the original Halloween is probably my number one horror movie. It has been for a long time. But with writing for Nightmarish Conjurings, I actually get into a lot of different types of movies that I wouldn't usually find myself watching. I guess my taste has started to expand a bit, but I'm still love the slasher genre is probably my favorite type of genre of movie. Although I do like the supernatural movies, both the Conjuring movies are great. I love The Exorcist. I actually watched The Exorcist 3 earlier today, which I would highly recommend. It was a really fun movie. But, like I said, I can get into all different types of genres. It just really depends on the film.
Yeah, the other day I was at Walmart, and I got a movie called Drive Angry. Now, I know it wasn't a horror movie, but it's close to a horror movie. It has Nicolas Cage in it and Amber Heard in it, if you have seen that movie before. But it's about this guy goes to hell and steals something from Satan or something. So that part of the movie is kind of like a supernatural kind of movie. That's what I call it, but it's not really a horror movie kind of thing. It's like a fantasy action movie, but it's close enough.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, it's going to be leaning a little bit more toward the action genre with Nicolas Cage. But, he did The Wicker Man, too, which is a pretty critically acclaimed horror movie. So, that guy's down for whatever. But I actually haven't seen the movie you're talking about.
It's strongly a good movie because one of my favorite actresses doing it is Amber Heard. So she's smoking hot. I'm a big Hollywood crush on her, so I can't help it. And, so yeah, I like that movie. Now, recently I got in the remake of Friday the 13th. Now, that movie was awesome.
Dude, the whole sleeping bag scene in the beginning of the first 5 minutes in the movie, the kills in the first 5 minutes they're brutal, dude. The sleeping bag scene when he lights her on fire in the sleeping bag, and that that movie honestly is really funny to me. It's a good revamp. I expected it to suck, honestly, but I like the revamp of Friday the 13th better than the revamp of Nightmare on Elm Street. So they made the movie Chucky, the franchise. Now, Chucky, when I first watched that movie, I said, wait a minute, if this is a joke, they're making a movie about an evil dog coming to life and killing people. Now, this is comedy gold. I dreamed it, I loved it, I got every single movie. I cannot wait until the new movie comes out, which is rumored to come out very soon, is Chucky, the Cult of Chucky, which is rumored to be coming out soon. I cannot wait for that movie to come out. I haven't watched more. I don't think I've watched past the second or third Child's Play movie. But when I was a little kid, Chucky really scared the shit out of me. For good reason. But as an adult, I never really dove into the Child's Play movies, and I know that I'm really slacking on that, but that's where I'm at.
Now, my second favorite movie is the Gremlins. Gremlins 1 and 2. And I have Gizmo t-shirt I got at Walmart. Man, I wear that shirt every single day almost.
Dude, the Gremlins, Brent, both the Gremlins movies are amazing. There's actually has been a little bit of talk online about a third movie coming out, which I don't know how well that would really work out because this is in the 80s, and that's kind of part of the reason why everybody likes those movies is because they're really campy and goofy from the 80s. So, but I did in December, I got an opportunity to go to one of the local theaters here in Sacramento, and they did a showing of Gremlins 1 and 2. It was like $10, and me and my wife went, and I took my little sister actually because she had never seen the Gremlins movies, and she's 6, so I was like, okay, these are okay for her to go and see. So I took her. She fell asleep at like the last 10 minutes of the first movie, so we didn't stick around for the second one. But fortunately for me, I've been watching those movies my whole life. But it was cool. They sold merchandise there. I got a T-shirt of one of the Gremlin that like has the Flasher jacket on with a candy cane in his mouth, and I like got this like badass shirt with that Flasher Gremlin on it, like opening his jacket, which I thought was pretty badass.
That's kind of cool. Let's move on to another topic. Sleepy Hollow Season 4 finale recap. Now, have you seen Sleepy Hollow before?
I have not watched any of the series. I'm not privy to it.
Now, I'm going to give the listeners a preview of the recap of Season 4 if you have not seen it yet. Now, Season 4 was awesome. New characters. Abby Mills died off last season, which is a shocker. Now, it's about Klang's wife. She was a witch. She was I loved her a lot. She was cute. She died, and then now on the Season 4, it's about Kling sold his soul to the devil at the end of the season because they're trying to get Travis, who was a businessman / immortal guy in the evil side of the Satan's universe, trying to get him dead. So they finally got that done, and that's what happened. I mean, I don't have more information about that, but I only listen to the parts that I like. I mean, I can't go all in detail about this recap of the season 4, but if you want more information about that, then go watch Season 4 of that. That is a great episode. So, moving on from that, any other topics you want to talk about, Devin, besides Sleepy Hollow?
I do have a couple things in my notes. So I'm sure you, as a lot of other people, have seen the trailer for the new It movie.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? I mean, are you a fan of the original movie? And how do you feel about that? Because when I watched it, I was like, it looks like they're actually going to do a really good job on it. But I'm trying not to set my expectations bar too high, just because revamps tend to be pretty disappointing.
Now, the original movie, Part 1, Part 2, I'm a big fan of Tim Curry. Tim Curry did a smooth, super job of the clown It. Now, in the new movie, I'll have no clue who's playing It, but I don't think it's going to be good as the original. I don't think they can get to repeat the original format of the cast members, but we'll see what happens. But I'm not going to expect it to be awesome like the original, but kind of a little bit better, but who knows. But I'm still going to watch and find out myself.
It's the only way we're going to know. And we have until September 8th to wait it out, man. We got a long fucking time. I checked out a new movie today called The Greasy Strangler, and it's not necessarily a horror movie. It's like a horror comedy. It's streaming on Amazon if you have Amazon Prime, and it was pretty interesting. It's a weird movie about this father and this son that operate like a disco walking tour type thing in their town, and the dad is this like notorious killer that covers himself in like lard grease and goes around and strangles people. And it was totally absurd. A lot of shit in it didn't really make a lot of sense when I was watching it. Like, it was just kind of like a weird movie, but it was entertaining to say the least. So I would recommend checking that out.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check out that one. And another movie I just recently bought was a movie called The Satanist. And it's the chick from Modern Family, Sarah Hyland. Now, she's really good actress, and she was in the movie I was talking about. And it's based about this group goes to this hotel, and it's, long story short, is a good movie. So
one thing that I was looking at, I frequently go on bloodydisgusting.com to get all my like news and updates about horror movies, and I saw this thing because they'll throw in some random stuff from time to time, and I found this YouTube channel called Dead Meat, and this guy has like this like kind of like web show that he does in there called Kill Count, and he basically looks at his favorite horror movies, and then he counts down all the kills in the movie, and then he rates them from like the best to the worst. So I recommend anybody to check that out too, because I watched the first episode. It's only about 7 minutes long. It was on Friday the 13th, and yeah, I mean, he nailed it. He goes really in depth, but he also keeps it pretty funny too. So
I mean, I love comedy horror movies like Scary Movie and Haunted House and all those. Yeah.
After we wrap up tonight, I have a movie that I'm going to be watching called The Void, which has been doing the film festival circuit since last year, and it's actually getting it's not getting a wide release tonight, but it's getting a limited release in theaters. I think today, and it's available on Vudu for an early release or like an early viewing. So I'm going to be renting that tonight, and it's supposed to be pretty insane. It's supposed to be really gory. It's like an anthology film, I guess, so it's got like a few different stories that tie together into one story, and I mean, the trailer looks insane, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll definitely let you know how that is on the next episode.
Oh yeah, completely. Other movies I have yet to see, but I'm dying to watch is 31, the new Rob Zombie movie. Now, I went to Walmart yesterday, which I already bought Drive Angry, but I had it in my hand. I almost bought Rob Zombie number 31, which is the movie's 31. I almost bought, but I didn't want to waste $15 on a movie. I mean, I could watch it for free on YouTube. So.
I mean, I have the streaming service Shudder. So if you ever wanted to use my account, they have 31 on there with all the special features. So I can slide that information to you sometime. But actually, they had a 1-day screening of 31 in Sacramento, and I went and saw that. It was back at the beginning of September. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'll tell you that I left the theater feeling pretty satisfied. And then after the second watch, I noticed some other things about it that I didn't notice when I was watching it in the theater. And I actually reviewed that movie for Nightmarish Conjurings and gave it a really good review. But that was prior to watching it the second time. I was riding on that high of just, seeing a Rob Zombie movie because I'm a pretty big fan of his movies. I think a lot of people that really appreciate the horror genre are. So definitely check it out. Definitely do not sleep on that one.
Yeah, not to mention, one of my friends that is a producer of a horror film, you may know him as Eric England. He's not related to the guy that's from Freddy Krueger, but he's not related to him at all, which is not true. But anyway, he just made the movie called Get the Goer, and that goer on Rob Zombie movie called Halloween, Taylor Scout Compton was in that movie. And I'm a big fan of hers. I'm a big horror crush on her. I've tweeted her, contacted her to be on the show, and she has yet to contact me back. But I will get her on the show eventually.
Yeah.
So, if you listen to this, Taylor Scout Compton, we play that to me. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Rob Zombie is like the best horror ever. I mean, going down to the list, like Devil Rejects was a great movie. I watched that like 1,000 times.
What would you say you like better? Do you like House of a Thousand Corpses better or Devil's Rejects?
Probably Devil Rejects, because I have yet to get House of Corpses yet. I have not yet seen that yet.
Oh man, you gotta see that one. It's because Devil's Rejects follows directly after House of a Thousand Corpses. It really paved the way for his filmmaking. Another movie of his I would recommend checking out is called Lords of Salem, if you haven't seen that movie. And I actually like Lords of Salem better than 31. And a lot of people really don't like Lords of Salem. So that's a movie about witches, obviously, it's Salem, but it's a pretty ridiculous movie, and there's like some pretty strange scenes in that at the end of that movie, and it gets kind of trippy and psychedelic at times. So definitely check that movie out.
I mean, I've yet to find a movie to scare the crap out of me. Like, I'm trying to find a movie that overtop the remake of Evil Dead, because Evil Dead, the remake, scared the crap out of me. So I'm trying to find another movie to top that movie. So hopefully Lord of Salem will scare the crap out of me out of that movie. So who knows?
I do have a movie that'll scare the crap out of you that I could recommend. That's called The Last Shift, and I think it's still on Netflix. It's about a rookie cop that is doing the last shift at a police station because the police station moved stations over to a new building, and so she's working the last shift at that station. And I don't want to tell you too much about it, but I'll tell you that movie had me on edge the entire time that I watched it, and it left me feeling pretty shook up. That and It Follows. If you haven't seen It Follows, man, that's a great movie. It's fucking scary too.
I will be watching that soon also. I have a couple more words and then we'll end the show. Couple of more movies are rumored to coming out soon, which is Jeepers Creepers 4. Now, I heard that Justin Long... my bad. 3,
Sorry.
not 4. Justin Long is confirmed to be on the cast, but the female actress that was in 1 and 2, excuse me, 1, not 2, she backed out of the movie, so I don't know why she backed out. She was my favorite character in the movie, so I don't know who's going to replace her, so we'll still find out about that.
I know why. And I'm not, like, trying to slander anybody's name or anything, but this is already public information. Victor Salva, the director of Jeepers Creepers, is actually a convicted pedophile. And so, because of that, that's why we're just now seeing stuff about Jeepers Creepers 3, because he's a convicted sex offender, and a lot of people don't want to back his movies because of that. So there's a lot of controversy and drama right now in the not even just the horror industry, but the film industry in general about that guy putting out Jeepers Creepers 3. So a lot of people really don't want to back him right now. I know that the website that I write for, Nightmares Conjurings, we won't be putting out any press on Jeepers Creepers 3 at all, because they don't want to support somebody that's a convicted sex offender. I myself will see the movie when it comes out, because I'm a big fan of Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. I try to keep the fact that he is a scumbag aside from his art. So, but that's why people, you don't really, all the information that we're receiving about Jeepers Creepers 3 is super limited, and that is why that actress backed out of that movie. So.
Wow, that's like, I'm speechless after hearing that. I did not know that. Yeah, and it's like it's something that had happened like over it's been well over like I think 15 years. Don't quote me. I mean, you could probably check like Wikipedia or something, and they tell you everything. But yeah, it's something that's been known for a minute now, and I don't think that it really became like general public knowledge until like 5 years ago. So that's why we've kind of been not really seeing much of the creeper lately. So that sucks for him. I'm not going to hate on him, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut, because if I say something, it will haunt me down the road, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. So, moving on from that, now Saw, the new Saw movie is rumored to come out, so I can't wait for that.
I haven't heard too much about the new Saw movie. Well, I've heard a little bit, but I'm sure that it's not going to be disappointing to hardcore Saw fans. I own like Saw 1 through 5, and I've only watched like 1 through 3 because I'm like, dude, like it's the same for me. It's just the same scenario over and over again. But I mean, honestly, like a lot of horror franchises or a series of horror movies, they are the same thing. I mean, like, how many times are they going to kill, Jason, and then he's going to come back? How many times are they going to kill Freddy and he's going to come back? How many times are they going to kill Chucky and he's going to come back? And Michael Myers, So I think it's just me and my not distaste for torture movies, but it's hard for me to get into them because I actually think I like generally get grossed out by the Saw movies, and that's kind of unusual for me because I can watch a lot of really gnarly shit. I mean, there's a I think it's a German movie called Necromantic, and there's 2 of those movies, and I think they were filmed in the 80s, and they're damn near like snuff films. They're like about this couple that basically have sex with dead bodies. And there's 2 of those movies. And then there's another movie that I really like called Cannibal Holocaust, that is about these people that go to document this tribe, and I don't remember what country it is. And when they find the tribe, they get kidnapped or, taken hostage by the tribe, and the tribe starts to mutilate them. You see like a woman get raped with like a rock on a beach, and you see them like actually skin a real sea turtle. Like they actually killed animals in that movie. like real animals when they filmed it. So that's pretty gnarly. But for some reason, the Saw movies are just like too gross for me at times. I don't know. Maybe I'm just
Yeah. So moving on from that. That's weird. So my dream movie I want someone to make. Now I know horror producers are out there like Stephen King and everything, but I'm dying to see a movie with Chucky versus Annabelle. Now Annabelle is a doll, Chucky is a doll. I want to see a movie Chucky versus Annabelle, just like Freddy Krueger and Jason, or Jason versus Michael Myers, something like that. I want to see a movie like that again. I love those kind of movies.
I can probably bet that it wouldn't be too far off from the future with the way that the film industry goes. But there's I don't remember what the name of the YouTube channel is, but there is a YouTube channel that actually has fictional fights of horror villains or characters, and I think that they have a Chucky versus some other type of doll character. I don't remember if it was Annabelle, but I think that they have Chucky on there. So if you looked up like Chucky versus something on the YouTube then you can probably find it.
Yeah, Annabelle was a great movie. I did see that.
You saw The Conjuring, right? You've seen those movies?
Oh yeah, I've seen Conjuring.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was for me, Annabelle. I gave it a shot, and I thought it was. A lot of people really liked it. I thought it was a flop. I just didn't think it was for me, just because it. I don't know. It just wasn't. It wasn't scary to me. It was like, when I go to watch supernatural movies, I expect to get scared, and I expect to get hit with a lot of really cheap thrills. And The Conjuring really, works on that really well. The director James Wan is really good at. But I just couldn't get into Annabelle, so I'm interested to hear why you liked it.
Now, Annabelle, for me, the scenes, the plot, the storyline was, like, okay, but the movie itself, I jumped out of my seat when I watched it. Annabelle was a great, great movie. Now, the character itself, the doll, it was kind of funny at times, because I was thinking about Chucky when I was watching it. So, it was a good movie. I have a rating from 5 to 10, and 10 represents gotta be nudity, gotta be some hot scenes in it, or anything, but I gave it a 3. Because I ain't seen nothing of that in the movie, so I gave it a 3.
Yeah, with horror movie comes nudity, most definitely. That's why I don't see how people can really discredit women in the horror industry, because people count on seeing boobs, always, and they always count on seeing a final girl. Seeing that one last girl that's gonna get away, or you at least think she's gonna get away, and you're gonna see her tits at some point in the movie too.
You can't have a movie without a little partial nudity in the movie. That's my favorite part. I know probably people think I'm a pervert, but it's a guy dream to see a hot woman's tits in the movie. That's my opinion.
And there's a lot of people that have that same opinion, so you're not alone.
That's why I like watching comedy horror movies with partial nudity. I just like it.
Yeah.
Please go check us out on YouTube at Horror Night. Please check us out on Twitter. If you cannot find us on Twitter, contact us. We'll send you the link, because for some reason I try to Google or show and it did not pop up for some odd reason. Thanks for listening, and this has been episode 1 of Horror Night.